right, our kind of people fans, I pray to God this video gets over 1,000 views. I wish this show would blow up on the channel because it's so damn good. All right, guys, but this episode was entitled The Miseducation of the Negro, which I do believe is a nod to the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which was mentioned earlier in the episode when Leah is reminiscing on her cotillion event when she and Raymond went together, and that was the moment she knew she was going to marry her future husband. So this episode, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty good episode overall, and I watched this morning, so it is fresh in my mind. But before moving forward, you all know over 70% of viewers are non-subscribers. So just hit subscribe as we get closer to 200,000 by the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it. And by the end of the month, I'm trying to hit at least 50% subscriber watch time on the channel, meaning that if you subscribe, then that means your views are contributing to the numbers. And on top of that, hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss out when I post. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, I have been reviewing this show each week. So the reviews for episodes 1 through 4, as well as the trailer promo breakdowns, are in the Our Kind of People playlist. So I don't want you to miss out. And for some reason, the show's going on break until November 9th. So there won't be another episode for another 3 weeks. So Angela and Tyrique wake up together in bed. So it looks like they spent the night together. And he needs to leave before Nikki and Piggy wake up. You know, Angela isn't ready to really introduce themselves as a couple to the family. Now, I don't know if this takes place directly after the opening of Eve's crown, or this just a few days later, because it's mentioned that they've been sneaking around for quite a while, and Aunt Piggy, you know, it's something about aunties who know when there's creeping going down. So, you know, we'll just assume this is several days later. I don't know. But she wants him to install the camera he took down, because that was an important plot point in the recap, the episode recap, where he took the camera out because there was a callback on him, you know, a recall. And we later learned that, well, we know that that's the camera that Teddy wanted in the shop. That way he could monitor what's going on. Now she loves the extra security, and he says, you know, I'll take care of it. So he gets up to leave, and we go over to Raymond, who's texting his ex-wife Alex Riviera. My bad. I think in the promo breakdown for this episode, based on the synopsis, I assumed Olivia was the name of his ex-wife, but that's the name of Raymond's mother. My bad. And they're texting, and you know, he is sent to investigate Our Legacy LLC, and that's possibly involved with the stadium deal. So Lauren is surprised with a horse for a cotillion week, and you know, she's taking photos of it, and it's a pretty big deal. You know, you got Quincy there, Grandma Olivia and Leah, and notice how when Leah is kind of reminiscing about her cotillion week, and that was the, you know, that was the released weekend, or the week that the Miseducation Lauryn Hill came out, and you know, she kind of got lovey-dovey with Raymond, and Lauren's kind of looking with a confused like, huh? Because remember, she walked in on her mom and Jack making out, and Jack is Raymond's business partner. So she goes into the house to get some pearls that, you know, she wore during the event, and she has a brief conversation with her dad because of the shaking. And he has one of the best sorry about my chair squeaking. He has one of the best doctors flying in, so he can help him out with some sort of trial drug. So he also recommended less stress. And she mentions, well, at least, you know, your lost but now found daughter isn't in the news as much. So yeah, it does seem like several days have passed since episode 4. And she brings up whether or not Tyrique can be trusted and if he's loyal. And it's like, yeah, remember how you were told you don't have video footage anymore of the Eve's Crown shop because he took the cameras out? Again, the camera recall. He's like, yeah, it's like talking about some kind of glitch in the system. And it's like, you know what? You've had it out for that boy since you were little. It's like, he's loyal. He was taught to be loyal. And if he's not, heaven help him. Meaning that if Tyrique is suspected of foul play or siding with Angela, it ain't going to be too good for him. Now, Nikki is getting ready for, well, she's in the middle of her photo shoot as the new face of Eve's Crown. And Piggy is talking with Angela about knowing about Tyrique sneaking around. And the fact that, I'm not ready to introduce these two yet because, it's too early. And Nikki's excited because her first college choice has sent back the application saying, hey, well, what are your extracurricular activities? That really takes me back to when I was applying for college, but damn, I think she's trying to get into Spelman College, and there are a lot. Do you speak a second language? Community service hours? Do you play an instrument? It's just a list of things. And Nikki's like, you know what? It's not really worth trying to go and travel to Spelman for an in-person interview if I don't have the credentials. And then she walks off. And then from there, Angela's like, you know what? What if I got her into that cotillion? That could look good. So, in a surprisingly good scene with Leah, because part of me is like, Lord, what's going to happen? Is Leah's nice now, but I'm like, I don't know. Because the promo for the episode made it seem like Leah was going to embarrass Nikki in front of everybody at the cotillion, saying, one of us isn't fit to be part of the cotillion. And I'm like, damn, she really going to do that? But no, Auntie Leah was actually cordial, because at first it was like, you know what, you can't really skip the line. It's not even the common folk thing, because even if common folks were in the line for something, they would get pissed off with somebody trying to skip ahead. But it's $25,000 donation by the end of the week, and it was heart-to-heart moment about failing as mothers. I've been trying so hard to get Eve's Crown off the ground. I didn't really focus on what was important to Nikki, trying to get into Spelman and trying to assist her with extracurricular activities. So Leah's like, yeah, you know what? Just be aware you have to have, she has to have a dress and nails and hair done and everything. But other than that, if you can get the money together, we can make it happen. So this was a good moment. So Nikki is having a hard time at the demonstration dinner trying to figure out look, I'm a paper plate, plastic fork and knife kind of person. So the salad and steak, I would be lost. You are speaking a foreign language. So when some of the other girls notice how hard she's having she's having a difficult time, Taylor gives them a stern look and they stop laughing. But we go over to the father-daughter dance, and Nikki's the only one without a father. And Angela, she gets up, puts on a random blazer that was on a chair, and she dances with her daughter. And Leah cuts in and saying, hey, well, the father-daughter dance is only for father and daughter, so, that's all you can do. And she gets, a random guy in the crowd to come out and dance with Nikki. And from there, she gets on the phone and says, hey, are you busy? And I automatically thought, okay, it has to be Tyrique, because there's no way she's calling Nikki's father in prison, because he wouldn't be able to come. But we go over to after the event, after the, I guess you could say, the practice ceremony. Taylor's outside chatting with Nikki, and it's like, hey, you're doing your best out there. You're out there busting a move, and you're doing great. Pretty much encouraging her because she knows she's a fish out of water. And I think she apologized, like, hey, that kiss, it shouldn't have happened. And then Lauren notices, and Taylor has her hand on, Nikki's, like, thigh or whatever. So Lauren comes over, and she's like super nice. It's like, hey, you're doing great out there, and you're trying to get into Spelman. Yeah, that rep, she's been trying to link with me since I was like 10 years old, but I can introduce you at the cotillion, and she's really cool. So at first I was thinking, obviously she jumped in before things got too far, because she could see that Nikki and Taylor were getting close. Then on top of that, she remembered that Taylor and her would only be together if she's cool to her cousin. But then I'm also thinking, I don't know what grade. I'm assuming they're like in 11th or 12th grade, and she's probably like, if I can get my cousin to go away to Spelman, that means Taylor's here with me. I don't know. But regardless, Nikki walks off, and Taylor gets an invite. It's like, look, you said to be exclusive, so what if you escort me to the cotillion together? So that was like, oh wow. So Angela asked Tyrique to dance with Nikki at the big event, but okay, yeah, before he tells the truth, he is told about her father Nate. I believe Nate is the name of Nikki's father. Back when they were young college students, you know, pressed for money, and they just had a baby, or, you know, Angela was pregnant. He tried to steal electronics, but his partner got, you know, was flimsy about it and, you know, tipped off the security accidentally. And then as a result, he got arrested. And I think that he was being put away for life or something like that. And because of that, Angela decided not to tell Nikki about her father. So from there, Tyrique's like, look, you did what you thought was right. So before he could agree to the dance, he says, yeah, those cameras, they aren't going back up, because Teddy was the one that asked me to spy on you by putting or to ask me to install the cameras to allow him to spy on you on Eve's crown. And look, I was doing it at first, but then when I got to know you, my feelings are real. I just decided to take him out, and she's hurt and tells him to leave and don't talk to her. So Nikki's dressed up for the event, and she's excited and just thanks her mom for the help, because that's one thing about I don't want to just say a black mother, but you know, great parents, or in this case mothers in general, but they will make 5 cents out of a penny if it's something for their children. And I just love how Angela is Angela's working tooth and nail to get her daughter an opportunity that she didn't have when she was younger. And, you know, Nikki brings up, oh yeah, there was this one dress, you know, at this one shop, and Angela's all excited. So she rushes down to get it. And, over at a gun range, it's Quincy, Raymond, Olivia, and, you know, a bunch of other black people in the community. So you got two bigots, you know, walk around like, yeah, you know, it's summertime when, there's more tans around. And Quincy's like, what the hell? We live around here. And then I love how his grandma gives a little history lesson on how this gun range was founded and named after a slave, or former slave. And from there, it's like, you know, people like them, those white people who are racist, they pay $2,000, but the next time they come, I'm going to charge them $3,000. The thing about winning the war with the opposite race, Quincy, is to not let your opponent know that they're in a war. I love moments like this. I'm sorry for, like, you know, just gritting my teeth. I just love it. It's like moments of racism. You know why Quincy acted the way he did, but I loved how his grandma didn't like chastise him or no, like, Quincy, calm down. No, it's like, look, they could say what they want to, but look, those white people can say anything they want to about us black folks, but at the end of the day, they're paying a Negro to be on this land to shoot guns. Fantastic. All right. So there's a moment between Ray and his mom, and he mentions how I'm trying to get Darman back. And it's like, good. I'm glad you're working again. I've been waiting on you to put on your armor to fight against Teddy as soon as he took over the company. And he mentions how he's getting his ex-wife to help out. And his mom warns him, like, look, the last time we got involved with your wife or ex-wife, it took years for the family to recover. My guess is that him and Alex maybe had like a nasty divorce, and her being one of the best investigative journalists in the country probably meant she looked up a lot of dirt to basically sling towards the DuPont name, and it took years for them to recover from it. So basically, you're fighting fire with fire. Don't get burned, son. It's like, look, it's already in motion. I made the decision. So Nikki loves the dress, and she's talking with her mom about learning to forgive, because she tells Angela about, ooh, what if Tyrique, you know, helped me dance at the event? And she says about how, yeah, you know, Tyrique lied. He was trying to work with Teddy and them, but then he told me he stopped. But then Nikki's like, well, that's the thing, Mom. Maybe you should learn to forgive. You're punishing him for being honest. I like that moment. So we go over to Leah and Ray, and they're in bed. You know, it's late at night, and she is asked about LLC, and she acts like she doesn't know about it. And it's like, hey, the kids are at the party for the cotillion, you know, before the big event tomorrow. So meet me in the shower in 5 minutes. Make it 3. So when she goes to the shower, he looks at the laptop, looks at the computer email, and sees some emails from LLC. Like, I tried to zoom in, but I couldn't make out what the text said. I'm sorry. But either way, it just seems like, yet again, Leah is on team Teddy as opposed to team Raymond. So Teddy is having a meeting with the doctor who flew in with the experimental pills. Now, the thing is, the doctor said to follow the prescription to a T. 1 pill every 8 hours, or the side effects could be detrimental. So he takes that first pill. Now, at the party for the cotillion, Nikki and Taylor go to the back of one of the limos and they kiss, and Lauren walks in and sees them before walking off the bus or the limo or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, is Nikki in the wrong here, or is Taylor in the wrong? I feel like it's more so Taylor, because of the fact that you're the one who committed to Lauren in the last episode, yet you're the one flirting and making out with her cousin. So Angela forgives Tyrique, and, you know, they have a brief chat because of the fact that I want to trust you. And she brings up the fact that she wants to clear her mom's name. And I looked at the video, and Teddy was in the interrogation room trying to pay off my mom. And then asked, like, look, your dad was security. Would he know something about, like, a drug bust or something like that back in the day? And Tyrique brings up how Teddy's brother was a Black Panther, and him and Teddy never saw eye to eye on certain issues, which could involve the drugs. But if there was any kind of evidence or anything that could help out, it would be the journals that Teddy keeps in his home office. And there's, like, no way that they can get close to that. And Angela's like, but there's a family dinner going down, so who knows, maybe I could use that as an opportunity to get the journals to help clear my mom's name. But it's like, now when Tyrique's like, hey, it's like, you really can't do anything like that right now because the timing has to be perfect. So the next day, Olivia scolds Leah for not backing Raymond on Darman. And, you know, Leah's like, I ain't trying to hear all that. So Lauren comes out, lovely vanilla dress, but she wants something to complement Taylor's dress because they're going together. And she mentions how, look, Mom, you know, you said this event was when a woman comes to her own. And I mean, that was the event that you went to and you realized you were in love and wanted to marry Dad. And in a classic grandma moment, Grandma says, well, only young men are allowed to escort debutantes. What do you mean going with your little friend Taylor? Grandma, I'm gay. And then she almost passed out. It's like, what? You can't allow this, Leah. What's going on? And Leah's like, no, it's absolutely, you have my blessing to do so. And she's like, yeah, you're right, Olivia. Change sometimes can be for the better. And it's like, wow. And this was an honest scene because, you know, the older generation, not to kind of preach or anything, because like I said, I'm not LGBTQ myself, so I really can't speak for that specific group of people. But I think it's very clear to everybody, no matter what your sexual orientation or preference is, nowadays there's more of an openness to it as opposed to a couple generations ago where it was just not accepted. And Olivia's reaction felt 100% genuine, like you could really imagine something like that happening in a Black household, regardless of social status. So just the honesty in that moment, and as well as what Lauren said, was great. But I feel like that's negated when she acts like a total bitch later on. I'm sorry. Okay, so Teddy's in his office and he gets the letter that Nate was writing at the end of the last episode to send to Teddy. And Angela walks in to talk, and, you know, Teddy, it makes a gracious offer, and because he automatically assumes that Angela's there because she's having trouble getting the funds for Nikki's cotillion fees, $25,000. Like, I will happily sponsor my granddaughter. And, you know, Angela's like, no, I'm not here for that. All the designer dresses Mama had, which I'm assuming are gifts from you, I sold them and I made the $25,000 and then some. So, you know, he's proud of that. But she's actually there, you know, to make a vouch for, I'm just getting to know this family. I know it's a lot to take in, and I just want to know if you and, you know, Nikki and I could have dinner. And that's when Teddy extends the invitation to come over at 8 p.m. tonight after the cotillion for a big family dinner. And then when she leaves, you know, instead of hugging because they aren't there yet, they shake hands. And I liked it because I believe he shook her hand with the hand that, you know, is trembling. So that was good. That was good. And he reads the letter as she leaves. So we get to the big cotillion event, and at the last second, Leah is handed the check by Angela, and it is a big day. And as the ladies are all lined up on stage sitting down, Lauren points out the Spelman rep to Nikki, and all the women get up there, you know, say what their name is, and like, here's how I want to impact the world. Here's my dream. I want to go to this school. I want to pursue this major. And then Lauren gets up there and she's super nervous, but Taylor, you know, smiles and nods her head to kind of give her reassurance. And as Lauren is pissed off at this, Nikki struggles, but she makes her way through. But then Lauren comes up and is like, hey, I just wanted to say a few words about my cousin. And you know what? She's gone through a lot. She lost her grandmother. She just uprooted. And I'm like, yo, yeah. But I mean, honestly, I knew the moment she got up after looking at Taylor, she about to do some shit. And then she's like, yeah, she had a criminal record she beat. And that basically humiliated her. Even the Spelman rep is like, what? So then Nikki just storms out of there. And then Angela's like, what? I mean, I was shocked because the promo made it look like Leah was the one that did this. So Nikki runs out there, and then Lauren catches up with her, and then, you know, she tries to, you know, clap back because of the fact that, why did you do that to me? You have a criminal record too. And it's like, you're not innocent either. I saw you making out with Taylor last night. And then Taylor comes up there, and then Nikki, you know, she storms off, and then, you know, Taylor confronts Lauren about what she just did. But she's like, you know what? You are broken. You're messed up. It's like something is definitely broken in you to do something like this, because this was an event that was supposed to uplift sisters and you just tore one down. And now Taylor wants nothing to do with Lauren. And this is interesting because if you go back to episode 1, towards the end of the episode, during the big fashion show event, at the end of the episode, Leah did the same thing to Angela, exposing her criminal mother in front of everybody. I mean, like mother, like daughter. So that night, Piggy and Angela are talking about what went down, and Nikki comes out like, no. You know what? The kid gloves are off. Let's fight. Let's go to that family dinner. It's like, oh shit. So they roll up, Angela and Nikki, and they take a seat at the table. You know, Lauren's just like, what? And Teddy gets up to speak, and Nikki gets up just like, hey, I know you all don't know me, and I've made some bad decisions in the past, but I'm just here to do better, you know, for family that loves and support me. And in the middle of her speech, Lauren just slides down in her chair on her phone, and then Nikki's like, wait, are you serious right now? It's like, what do you mean? And then, you know, Lauren tries to clap back, and I just know that as soon as Lauren said something, both Angela and Teddy looked at Lauren like, so Leah steps in and is like, you know what? No. You're being completely rude. You're not acting like a debutante. You're out of the cotillion. And you're out of this dinner. No, it's like, first, you're not fit to be at this. Basically, she said what she said in the trailer to her daughter, which I thought she meant to Nikki. Like, you're not fit to be at this table, let alone be in the cotillion. And at that moment, because Lauren's like, wait, are you serious? I thought she was going to expose her mom's affair. I thought that's where it was going, but no, she gets up pissed and leaves. And then Nikki leaves, excuse me. At first, I thought she was going to talk to Lauren, but I feel like, no, she was just caught up in the moment because this was a big deal. It's like, oh shit. It's like, I fought to get a seat at the table, but you can lose it just like that. But then Angela goes after her, and, you know, she wants to cheer, but Nikki's like, no, calm down. It's like, yeah, we got her ass. Okay, hey, you take a moment, collect yourself, go back to the table, and if anybody asks what's going on, just say you're okay. I'll be right behind you. So while Nikki's going back to the table, you know, the men, I think Leah's still there. Yeah, basically the men are, you know, eating, and in the midst of trying to grab a spoon to get some soup, you know, Teddy's hand is trembling, and he gets up to leave, and as soon as he comes back in, or leave, you know, Nikki's saying, oh, my mom's like, excuse me, and then, you know, Leah's like, it's okay, honey. So, he goes to the restroom to, get some pills because, you know, I think he didn't take one within 8 hours, and remember, the doctor said, follow the prescription to a T, or there could be massive side effects. So it seems like he didn't take them every 8 hours on the hour. So from there, he rushes off to take the pills. And Tyrique follows Angela, who's in the bedroom trying to find the journals. And Tyrique, you know, he stuffs a couple in his back pocket, and they stop to kiss. And I'm like, dude, get the hell out of there, because let's see here. Yeah, Angela left before Teddy, so they don't know. I guess Tyrique left in the middle of the dinner too, but they don't know Teddy's in the bathroom. And when they stop to kiss, I'm like, if you don't get the hell out of there, because when Teddy finally got himself together, because even though he rushed to take the pills, the side effects were still kicking in. So before they could fully leave, he actually falls on the floor and he's pretty much stuck there. But he sees and overhears, yeah, let's get out of here before anybody figures out what's going on. He sees, you know, the shoes of both Tyrique and Angela and knows something's going on. So it's like, so in the next episode, shit's going down. Overall, this was a good episode. It really was. And I just love how Nikki is standing up for herself. And it's like, no, Ma, you know, you're not the only one to fight. And it's messed up because Lauren did that because of the fact that, well, Angela went through so much. You had Leah was fantastic in this episode. I don't think I had anything bad to say about Leah at all, you know, aside from keeping Raymond out of the LLC conversation, because again, she's definitely picking her dad's side over her husband's. But I think this was a strong episode. I really wish the ratings for the show weren't decreasing each week, because it's a really good show. But like I said, we're going to be without the show for a couple of weeks. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Maybe over the 2-week period, I might actually start doing theory and discussion videos, because I haven't really engaged in doing those because my episode reviews haven't been doing that well. But yeah, if you want me to do some discussion theory videos going over the first 5 episodes, I'll be more than happy to do so. I don't even know how many episodes this series is supposed to be, at least in season 1, but regardless, I love it. All right, guys, well, thanks so much for tuning in, and like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.